Have you ever had that feeling of being in more than one place at the same time, and time seems not to be linear anymore, and everything So as you might have noticed, the main character of today's video is this plugin called Slice, created by Lese Audio. It's not exactly a brand new plugin, but it's been updated just recently. So it's now allowing you to drag and drop samples directly into its buffer. And this transformed the plugin from what used to be only an effect to a true sound generator, as you saw in the intro of the video. First of all, let me give you a quick overview of the main plugin's controls. Basically, what Slice does is listen to an incoming audio signal, record it into its buffer, and then split it into a selectable number of loopers from 3 to 9, adjustable with this knob right here on the left. And all of the loopers of Slice will run in parallel. The central graph at the top allows you to control what's called the pedal system, which lets you quickly adjust either the length of each looper or its position, depending on what you've selected right here on the left. Finally, with this little button right here, you can switch to a more simplified view of the same system, this time based on X and Y coordinates. For the rest of the controls, I think it's better to take a look at them while we are actually using the plugin in a practical context. So let's dive right in. First of all, I've created this very simple melody using 3x oscillator. I will then assign it to a mixer channel, and on that mixer channel I will open up an instance of Slice. And now I will play my melody and wait for the Slice buffer to fill up. Once it's done, I will start increasing the mix knob. I'm gonna use the pedal graph to adjust the spread of the loopers. This slider on the right allows me to adjust the range where the loopers are gonna be operating. Once I found a sweet spot, I can decide to freeze the buffer using this knob right here on the right. And from there, I can start to tweak all of my parameters. So let's go for 4 slices and adjust the length of them. I want to make them slower. With this setting right here, I can adjust the shape of my loopers. Now that I obtained this kind of a background texture, which I think is pretty cool to layer to my original melody, since I've frozen the buffer, the plugin will play my audio over and over again. So one cool thing that I can do is I can move back to my piano roll, select my original melody, bring it up 1 octave, then go back to Slice, and now listen to what's happening as I slowly turn down the mix knob. Yeah, I find this option to freeze Slice and lock in a specific result while continuing to tweak my melody or any kind of sound really interesting, because you can imagine all the potential creative outcomes you can get from a layering perspective. Because now Slice, even though it's in the effect slot of my mixer channel, it's not actually an effect anymore, but it's a sound generator. So I can go on and, for example, add a delay to my original melody. Make sure to place the effects before Slice, otherwise if you place them after, you will affect both the original and the sound processed and obtained with the Slice plugin. So let's go on and add the reverb before Slice. I'm gonna go with Valhalla Supermassive. And let's finally add an EQ. So yeah, we just got a very cool ambient drone melody. So let's now try slice on this drum loop. What I want to show now is this button right here, which is the transient mode. By enabling it, once it listens to the audio signal, Slice will automatically recognize and set some markers based on transient analysis, and the loopers will then snap to those markers. So let's enable it. You can of course regulate the sensibility of the analysis by using this threshold knob. Let's then bring up the mix to see the result. And now it's a little chaotic, but let's go in and tweak the parameters to make it sound cool. What you can also do is synchronize the looper's length to the BPM of the host. Once you do it, this divisions knob right here becomes available, and the division slider basically sets how many parts a looper can split into, while the length slider at this point sets the synced duration of each loop. Let's then go back to the mix knob and blend the original signal with what we've got so far. The last thing I want to show you is the feature introduced in the latest update, which is the ability to import any sample into Slice, even if it's on the mixer channel of another sound. So let's stick to our previous drum loop, but instead of recording it into Slice, let's drag and drop a new melody from our browser. And now let's just mess with the parameters. So you can easily imagine all the creative outcomes that can come from using this small but very powerful looper, which works both as an effect and as a generator on its own right. I hope this video has sparked your curiosity, and if so, and you're interested in purchasing the plugin, we invite you to use the link in the description along with this code right here to get 30% off the product. Lastly, many thanks to Lese Audio for the collaboration and for creating these wonderful devices that are as useful as they are creative. With that being said, I will see you in the next one.